Yo, what's up, YouTube? Yo, yes, sir. We back. This is gonna be a trade breakdown I just took about an hour ago. 30 minutes in, made $400. I just started a new 25K challenge. This is going to be just. I'm not going. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole series, but I'm just going to record and show the trades I've been taking on this 25K challenge. So let's go ahead and just show you what I did today on US 30. So far, what I looked at, let's go to the daily chart. I seen this breaker on the daily chart, so the US 30. And if you don't know what this stuff is, there's more of ICT concepts if you know, or if you want to say supply and demand flip, if you know anything about that, or if you do support and resistance, understanding wicks and where the resistance level and support level is, you could do that too. But how I trade is ICT concepts mixed in with some supply and demand or whatever. But I know it's different strategy out there. But anyways, just so you can know based off of your strategy. So I just marked up the body of the candle, waited for that breaker to come in for the daily chart. This was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. You got to be careful on Wednesdays. Sometimes Wednesdays be choppy, but and usually Tuesdays and Thursdays are like runner days on US 30. But the 4 hour looked good. Obviously, it was showing a rejection and it closed here at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. I live in Chicago, by the way, so it's CST, Central Standard Time. So 8 a.m. Central Standard Time is when that candle closed. I dropped down to the 1 hour. I noticed this breaking structure right here. Let me go mark that up really quick. Breaking structure right there. So I noticed that the trend is going to more than likely, obviously you're not going to be 100% sure. You can always lose at any point. But more than likely, since it broke past this level right here, I was thinking it was going to go down. So I dropped down to the 15 minute. On a 15-minute chart, here's where people mess up. People could be messing up by not understanding structure. That was the biggest part that changed my whole game, was understanding market structure. I don't care what strategy you use. I don't care what kind of indicators you use. If you know market structure, you can make anything work. It's just a fact. But anyways, I noticed this order block right here, and then what I usually do with the order blocks of supply and demand, I usually mark it up from the top of the body up to the wick, or where the market structure would break. So anywhere in that area, I would be expecting a turnaround. So it came up here at 8:15. That candle closed down here at 8:15. Right before the open session at 8:30 or 9:30 New York time. And I dropped down to the 5 minute. Once I dropped down to the 5 minute, I got ready to push my entry. I seen that candle close right when it, on the 5 minute when it came up into the position. So 8:05. I know it closed down here. I didn't mean I say I entered there. Let me actually. I have to go down to the 1 minute to see exactly where I entered at. It's right here on the screen though. But the 5 minute close. On the 5 minute, what I do usually is, once I see a bearish candle, or even in the opposite direction, a bullish candle closing in that direction, I drop down to the 1 minute, because more than likely, when that closes on that higher time frame, you drop down to a lower one, it usually could cause a big break of structure on the lower time frame. That's what I noticed. So once I seen this structure point right here, once I seen this break right here, I entered in. I could have waited for it to come back up, but sometimes it doesn't get me that entry in. And I believed that if I put at least my stop loss right above here, right here, turn that red. And let's gray this out a little bit. But, oops. I know if I put my stop loss right here, there was no way for it to come up and hit that stop loss. So I could have just made it right here, but I just stuck to my rules of being 200 points or 20 points for my 40 points. 1 to 2 risk reward. That's what I've been following. That's what worked for me, because I stopped doing the 1 to 5 on other, like, I've been stuck on that for a whole year trying to figure out my risk reward, and that was messing me up the entire time. So what I found out what works for me is the 1-2 setup. 1-2 is just been golden. And no, don't let nobody tell you that 1-2 or 1-1s don't work, because that's cap. That's line. That's cap. Because I can be I'm becoming way more profitable 1-2 than me doing 1-5, because my psychology, I can't handle 1-5 and lose like 6-7 trades in a row until I get my 8th trade off or my 4th trade off, and then win one and make up all the losses. Like, I'm not into that. For my psychology, I like to win. So I understand I'm gonna lose, but having a lower risk reward of 1-1 and 1-2, you're going to have a 70, 80%, 90% win rate if you have a good strategy. So I kept it at that. So when this break happened, I entered in, obviously with the spreads and everything, it put me in up here. And then I put my 200 points stop loss above here. So I know if it goes there, I lost. And I stopped also moving my stop loss to break even, depending on the situation. Like, as long as it's within structure, on the 5-minute or 15-minute, like, let me go back up to the 5-minute. If as long as it's in that structure of that high, I know that once it made that candle, bearish candle, I was expecting this to be a lower high. That's why I put my stop loss above here, or I expect it not to go above this point. And if you know about ICT strategy of going around this time frame, if you drop down to the 3-minute, or you could go to 4-minute, but I don't really need it as much. But you can see it's a fair value gap right here that it tapped into, and it never broke above that candle high. You can also do that too, what ICT talks about, but I like to be above that structure point on the 5-minute, and also correlated with the 15-minute wick high candle. So once I got in there, entered in on the 25K challenge, I think I was using a standard. So and eventually I'll probably I'm using the standard account right now. So this was news that came out, but because news doesn't affect the challenge part, I just went and took it anyway. On the actual funded part, I won't be taking these trades because it'd be too close to the news section. I don't want to get breached. So, but it dropped. Obviously, you can see it dropped way further, and still dropping way further than than expected. But I don't care about that. One of the things you need to realize is that if you have a strategy, if you have a 1-2 risk reward, you take that. You do not try to change it. That's what I've been doing so many times. I try to change it in the middle of my session. Don't ever do that. Just stick to what works for you, and I promise you're gonna make money. Just what works for you. I don't care if people think it's lame or whatever, cheating, whatever. I thought that for a long time for scalping. And that's why I went for swing trading. That's why y'all know, if y'all watch my other videos, you can go back and watch my other videos. It was talking about swing trading, right? And I just felt like scalping was kind of cheating. But it's not. It's like, as long as I'm making money and I'm feeding and taking care of my family, I really don't care what people think. That's why I'm just making these videos, just to show and help somebody else out, because I know you're in the same position as me. And I know a lot of people don't succeed because of that. Just small stuff like that, like risk to reward and win rate and all this other stuff, and worrying about that. Like I said, the lower the risk to reward, the better chances of you actually winning that trade. Now you can still have a good win rate on on some things that could be, like you can have a 1-3 and still win 50% of your trades or whatever. That could be possible. Could be. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's for sure. But I know one thing that Larry Wills said, and not Larry Wills. I'm thinking of working out. My bad, y'all. Not is it Larry Wills? Yeah, Williams, not Wheels. That's a workout. But I'm not even sure if that's his name. You know who I'm talking about, bro. ICT mentor. But if you watched his interview on Trading Night, he talks about how he has never yet, he's been trading for, 30, 40 years or something like that, maybe even more. He's never found a strategy that was 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, 1-10, and had an 80% win rate. So he says he sticks with a 1-2, sometimes a 1-1, and he's good with that, and he makes millions of dollars. Like, I'm cool with that, and I took mine out the market. I'm done. I'll come back for the afternoon session, and then I'll be done for the day. But as you can see, like I said, once that break of structure happened, I entered in, came back up for a little bit, and then eventually dropped when news came out or close to news, and it hit my take profit. So that was a $400 trade on there. It was a standard. So I was risking 200 to make 400 on this one on the 25K challenge. So pretty good trade. Anyways, that's it. Like I said, this was the order block on. This is the order block. And that's, I think, 3-minute chart. Yeah, 3-minute chart. 2-minute would have been up here, but sometimes it always doesn't make it. So you gotta just play with it and find what works for you. But this is for my scalpers out there. If you do trade it, if you trade something else. But yeah, that's it. That's it, y'all. That's a good video. I'm gonna start trying to make more of these and try to help as much people as possible. Give out free game as much as possible of all the stuff I know. Because I want to see people succeed, and it's just this is a tough industry, man. I'm not even gonna lie. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. You know what? This is the second hardest thing I've ever done. The hardest thing I've done is raise children. That's the only other thing. Raising my kids is the hardest thing. Joyful, but it's hard. But anyways, that's it. That's it. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out, and let's see what happens next time. Let's go.